And Boris is dealing with this verb and dealing with HANDELN since many years, and he made conferences about it as well. And so I think 40 years of archive is 40 years of thinking about HANDELN, how to act as an artist, but also as a person, and not to make this difference between acting in life and acting in art. But I don't want to say too much about. Perhaps you can say something about the Konzil, because it is a starting point for our festival and for our performance meeting. The Konzil and the question of HANDELN. Or you say what you want.
Yeah, thank you. To say some things. I have a little bit help. To come in the word, in the term handel, it has a story behind it. And the story behind it found a really presentation point and movement after this in the council from the beginning. So my first gallery or exhibition space I had 1972, and it was something else. To smell some things in the world, what it means to do some things and to invite people or to show some things. And I use now very special terms. Today I don't like to use it for myself. For example, to show. In this way, it was. And that feeling I had in this time, something is wrong, and I don't know what it was really was. But it developed, no? And then I went to study art in Berlin. Then I studied also in Hamburg, 1 year Hamburg. And then I understand, the first what I understand, to develop it in a stronger way. So this stronger way was to create with 24 other artists the Künstlerhaus Hamburg. And in the Künstlerhaus Hamburg we started to really, something's growing up, and I don't know what it was really, but it's growing up some understanding how things to have a space and the form to come in the world. And one of these was 2 months experimental works and some control exhibition, for example, the exhibition painting black, painting white, as an analyzing of what they're doing, what is happening with the people to paint in the monochrome way. I was painting chromonog images with a painting at this time. So it was also a kind of analyzing and showing. And 1980, I invited a lot of people coming. So my studio was an open space. People can come, so somebody phoned, was like, I need a place for the night, or can I stay some days? I said, yes, come. So in this moment, it is growing up more and more. And one situation was with Engelmann. And we found, yes, we have to bring these people we had in the last 5 years, to bring it together in a form of, I don't know this.
Konzil.
Later it becomes the name Konzil, 1981. And it was a lot of questions, really a lot of questions, not only by me. What was really interesting is why I invited the people was when I speak with them, They had a head full of wonderful things. And when I looked to the work and said, what is this? And then I said, we have to find a way to look what's going on. What have you ahead, and how you realize this in a direct and clear form. And what it means, this clear form, was most of the work I saw by the people was occupied by other things, private problems, and anything what is in this world was this all the shit things was these shit things occupied what the people doing. Don't going straight on. Then it can be the council. I found people from Stuttgart, and these people from Stuttgart said, yes, we can do it, was interested in the project. And then we realized that it was September 1981, 1 month, each day 24 hours, to stay in different houses we had in Stuttgart and realize how to think and how this thinking finding forms were found a way of presentation or coming as a reality in the world. And in this moment when it's going on this, and I have to say maybe in the end of the council, I had all years what I don't know what has happened with me or what has happened all this, I had a big feeling of a space. This space will be the world for the next, till my end of my life. It was an atmospheric space in myself, and I had a knowledge about how to make the question and how I have to learn and to make it, to go on with this for step by step, very clear, without defining forms, to be open as possible, but to go and to find clear positions that I have to learn this, I have to learn this, I invite 7 people and they're going on. In this atmospheric room I had after the council, I took for this the term HANDELN. I know, after this, I know what I have to do. And how I do it was a special will, but it was not the will to produce some things or to make the world close or something, so to give the space of development of all and to be, and this was also in this moment I found, not I do it, in this moment, in the HANDELN I understand some things said you have to do it this. That I was a tool for the world, to bring this world in visual form. That was in this moment my way to say this is HANDELN. Well, that was. In the knowledge about all this, to learn how to use the language, how to use this, so I was so open to start to learn different ways what it exists and how to use it. Ne? And one very important point was to understand tool. I'm a tool, but all other things are tool. The table was a tool. What has happened when I have a table and bring people together to sit around this and do something? So this question about tools coming out from this, helpful was, I was in this moment not so much artist, and more preparing cars. So I coming from a normal producer, and I learned how to prepare, how to make tools, these tools preparing the next tools, and how is the world of tools as a thing and so on. So it was so a big stream, and I was in the stream, it's coming, going through me and going away, and to show these were coming, not shows, and it's es zeigte sich, es ist not I show, sondern something shows themselves through me and through the situation with all that. And that was all this atmospheric space I called Handeln.
What is Handeln, not what is Handeln, who is acting? The sphere?
No, all the world is acting. Really the world is acting, not I. Not we each we are acting. And then later when I start to develop the possibility to thinking so possible as so clear as possible, I found some negative terms to handle. And that's what one is to do.
Not to act, to do.
Yeah, to do. And I found wonderful books. One of a very basic book was Action and Reaction. It is Starobinsky. And I understand. Don't react. Never react. But when you react, you fall down in the phenomena. The things mixed. Each people react is have a problem with something else, but when you are all times be in action, what you are doing is a kind of acting and going on, and in this moment you have all times a more clear phenomenon about what's going on than not in reaction. Reaction, people control you, situation control you, the world control you. To understand this, Handeln is to be all times in a form of acting, but this acting means something is going through you, but you in yourself is controlling, but you give it up as this is not yours. This phenomenon was for me, I learned by Starobinsky. Then a second person which was really, really interesting, important to develop, to understanding what it means. Handeln, acting is Hannah Arendt. In her wonderful book, Vita Activa, she described the acting. You will be in reaction a kind of animal, but in the acting you develop to be a human. And that was for me wonderful. And she described it with Agora in the Greece time. To be in act, you have to go in the Agora, and in this moment you are absolutely as a point. Something is in the discussion and to be there with all others, something coming in, and you give the right way to the position, what's going through you, to your understanding and so on. It could be your death. People was killed. But to give it, it means you are a human. In this human you are very clear between here, and show it, or it shows it themselves there. This book, Hannah Arendt, Vita Activa, was the next was that, yes, I understand more and more about the difference between reaction and what it means tune. Tune is the doing as a, but mostly when people doing, we know it. I have mostly forgotten what in the breakfast. No? Is you do it and then I don't know how I make this, but in the when you are in the acting, it reflects in yourself as a memory, as a give you in a way to you don't forget it, but you use it, you need it for the next, and so on. And this was also when after the council, when I start with all the things to say, how to understand, to do, how is doing. So I start, for example, a project, Rent an Artist. Das heißt, to be free for the will of other people. People can rent me. And for example, before the council, never I will have the idea. But after this council with this, to come to the HANDELN, there's coming more and more projects out. And step by step, and so it's right time and right moment and right question standing. Yes, it's.
Would you say the council was something like Agora, the community Hannah Arendt has written about?
Yes, no.
Okay.
Yes, later. No, in the beginning. But to come to the council had some other, for example, Martin Buber. When Martin Buber, in the book I and You, so he defined really as a form of encounter. What has happened to have encounter with another person in the different to doing yourself some things in yourself, as yourself in something else. This was also then the same philosophical phenomena of early Romantiker. These people have also what it means to come together and to develop, to be a human in a world with humans. This was coming from Romantic later by Hannah Arendt too, to be a human in the world with other humans. This is later coming out this wonderful book, Art of Acting. So, but it's a theoretical way to reflect, to be human. How do you bring human together, and how what I get from to be with human together, but coming really out, and it's coming mostly more out than when I think alone for me, or to think about how to bring people as cooperation to working together. So it's also interesting to make networks later. It is altogether forms in the atmospheric space to see the visualization there, this is this visualization, and you can, yeah, more and more coming the world richer to understand this, to be together with other people. Encountering the black markets was found as a form of encountering. How to make this never.
So it's not, HANDELN is not addressed to an object.
Yeah.
You can use an object as a tool,
Yeah.
like a table,
Yeah.
but it through the table you address other people,
It's
like this
yeah.
situation.
But the world is other people, but also all the things. In this moment, it's all. It is not, you can split. This atmospheric space is full of all, but also helpful was the Plato, how it is the writing by Heidegger, Platon's idea of cave.
Höhengleichnis,
Höhengleichnis in the cave. What you understand before. I was in the world, but I don't understand the world, I don't know it. No? But when I come more and more and handle, I stand, and in this moment, the world shows themselves, and now I can see. So my perception is development. My perception of the eyes only, so any level in these feelings was developed in this atmospheric space, and coming more and more that you are part of this world, and basically with the human, and with all others between two. In this moment, I don't make. Also, I have not so really interesting to say nature, culture, civilization, or so on. Yes, it exists, but in the feeling of this to be a human too, and you go more and more in this to develop what is a human, to see it. It's a political thing, no? Handel, all political handel, they have a lot of all this, what I say, they have. But what is the wrong way in the end, no? When they break it? Why all times it's coming in the end to fight and war and so on.
To react. There's a lot of reaction.
Yeah, react of this is, so they put on the right way wrong things. Maybe one wrong thing is the ego, the term I. It was 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. The I doesn't exist. What is to erfinden?
Invent.
Nicht Event. Erfinden des Ichs.
The invention of
The
I. Creation.
Creation of I. All people, when so many people put this I of the real phenomenon of the world, which going through you, which going on and so on. This, but this is another story, to go in the political way.
Yes, but to ask about the I, das Ich, if you speak about Handeln, would you say Handeln can be egoistic, or would you say that is tun? To do things, but not to act in the sense of Handeln. Because your form of Handeln, or your thinking about Handeln, I understand, is not addressed to yourself, and not to address to one object. It's addressed in that way.
Where the object, where the others exists inside, and from then coming through, each communication coming through, and the Wirkung,
The effect
is to give it away to the next. So in myself, when I ask me what I have from all this now 70 years, ne, I say I have nothing, and it's good. I have empty hands,
But you are not empty.
I'm not empty.
Yes.
That is a right.
Yes. Because if you would be empty, you could not handle, not act in the way you described it. So it's important that it goes through you and becomes a different action, or and becomes an action.
And this question is your old question, to say, I, mine, to be free of this. You don't need anything, you have only to be, I'm a tool for to take, to give, die Gabe.
Yeah, but it's this, und it's not the same, so it's a sound that comes into you, but it goes out from you with another dimension.
Yeah, but you're acting in this moment.
Yes.
You're acting and taking, and acting and giving. So this is what I mean, yeah.
Otherwise it would be, again, reaction, I think, if you wouldn't transform it in you. That's just like medium for spirit. I think it's more than that. That's how I understand.
My image is being like a flipper. You know, in the flipper, in this machine, you have the little sticks. I don't know what it is, and if the ball runs between them, this one. It's only to make. I think we have a lot of flipper people. No, that's only ding 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 ding, but it's not a new action.
But somehow there's still a part of I in there, isn't it? Because it goes, even if the same things go to every one of us, everyone has a different inner body and it comes out differently. So if I take you both, Alice and Boris, you would have the same input and getting it out like you told us. There's still a bit of your person inside and your person. So I think that somehow, maybe not the I, but what you lived through or what you formed is still in there, and you can't be totally free of it, because you have your body and your inner things too.
For me also the ego is important still, that you need to know yourself and to to use yourself to understand which tool you are and how to
Boris said in him are a lot of different voices, like Hannah Arendt, Martin Buber, the council people. So it's this ego is not the I like like you can read about. So
you are made from all what you received also.
So you're not empty, you're full of.
Yes.
But not full of yourself. Yourself is full of.
Yeah. Okay.
Perhaps.
Hard is this discussion, and I give it for me up, but it means the psychological phenomena. To define psychological ego.
It's not your discussion.
It's not mine, but while the rest of this world, the whole discussion to the discussion about the psychological element of your ego, it's heavy. It's really heavy, and it is so against us to say yes, it's good, it's not good. But to be in a way of physical spirit, for me is a kind of physics, but it's a spiritual side of the physics. And this is this I have to develop to myself, as myself.
Ego, I think, needs audience, and if you need contact, like social contact, it's already proving that it's not that there is something missing, that it's not just you're not full of ego. It's already, I think this is the first proof that you need to exchange. The ego is, if somebody is, like full only of own ego,
You don't need exchange.
Then but sick, this is sick too.
Yes, but there are some people who need exchange
Yeah.
only to prove
Yeah, that's
himself
what
or
I
herself to be alive.
Yeah.
So it could be very egoistic to go into exchange only, or to communication only to prove yourself that you are yourself. That's, I say, the like culture or something like that. No? It's
very nice.
It's not written
So
yet.
the question-
the book about the
The
like
question
culture.
is what you want to receive from exchange. If you want from exchange only congratulations, then it's only an ego exchange. If you want exchange to shake you ideas, then it's not then it's not only ego. It's
Yes, and to take in the term tool, perhaps you're not the tool, the others are the tools for you. If you need someone who gives you what you need, he, she, they are the tools.
and you might be the tools for them.
And you're not the tools for them. Yes.
Because remember, the problem is that if you already have you need to be convinced. There is doubts.
Perhaps we can speak about performing arts and how your thoughts about Handeln became clear in some, like Black Market.
Black Market is a very good example. For me it was in the beginning clear when I make the principle of Black Market. We have one lifetime to get Black Market, to understand it. So we started and we made a very simple, normal performance, but all people feel something is different. But what, we don't know it at the same time. We do some things, but we made very good principles that, okay, let it open. We have to let it open, and we have all how to come together so open as possible. Don't start to be in a carrier line, to be free of this, to go. And you coming older and older, each of us, and something's developed. And in the end, you saw at last, we got it. Not really, but we are on the way. But but we will die before we may
Be
really
perfect.
to be not perfect. Yeah, but so sits is for me in the definition of a handle. We are handle in this moment when we come together. We produce, we produce. I had with Elvira some days a talk how to define an utopical vision, to be free of utopical visions. Mm-hmm. But you have to do some things, and people see that that's we got audience. That's it. The door is open.
Of utopia? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Free of utopical visions
Okay.
of ideas.
To be free of the utopic vision
But to open
as a utopical vision. Yes, the paradoxal phenomenon. We are in the black market absolutely paradoxal. And that is what we have. Nothing is right, but we have to do it so clear as possible to be not right. And this is a strong handle, no?
Yeah, just for me, to what was really interesting was a sentence you said like some years ago, which really for me makes it very, makes it very clear what you mean by these terms. And to summarize the discussions about ego and connection to people and communication and what do I do for myself and how do I want to prove myself, you said that you have been to China and met other artists and you work and there was no audience and this was the best about it. So that it's really, you are really just interested in this process of acting with the others and how something becomes, like the world becomes clearer through you. And this was like, for me, very interesting point, because I think if most performing artists are true to themselves, it's a lot about being seen and having this interaction and also having the feedback, and also about ego and also about becoming present, becoming visible in a way. And I think this was a really different approach to performing arts, to just have this, I don't want to be visible, I just want to have the act visible. Yeah. And this was really like for me a very extreme way of seeing this. Like, I don't, audience, why, what for? Can be there, can't be there, I don't care. It's just about acting.
As Thomas said yesterday, you say the best performance are when you are not thinking about performance, when you're just...
Yes, I said even like going back more to the ground, I said yesterday that there is benefits of this low budget works, I told you, that because then you feel more free if there is no this weight of big production and some people controlling you, you know, above. So sometimes you think like, how, less money is good? Sometimes it happens that it is for your own sake, for what you want to do. Sometimes it's good to have no money. Yes. So that's from the ground. But I have to tell you also that from my experience, because I am maybe not so, I have a typical story. I moved to Finland after flood in Poland in '97 when I lost everything. Completely everything. Under the muddy water. And then I understood that maybe I don't need it. But I had very big problem to find myself in Finland. For many years I did things at home. I didn't have camera, I told you that it took me time to buy camera to record some things for myself. I was getting scared and crazy that, oh, my time is running and I'm nobody. Yes, this ego. And then I had these ideas, very much I was calculating what I would do if I would have chance, how to impress the world. Eventually I became 35 and I thought that, oh, all open calls are for young, beginners are, like over. I'm 26 already, so forget it. And you know, I felt such freedom. I understood that that's my place in the forest in Finland. That's my place. I will find my small place. It's enough. Right, I accepted. Things started to work for me because I didn't care anymore. I didn't calculate how to impress people. I just thought that I will experiment, make my own errors and find my own way. Only then I understood that suddenly I'm doing things because, you know, I don't have this pressure anymore on. So sometimes, you know, the things that you think that they are obstacles can be really working for you. If you forget this career and money, of course, because if you need that, then yes, this is maybe not the right place for you.
But another thing that came up yesterday was we did Zoom presentation, and I think you was it who said that you missed the feedback. When you are acting in front of the screen, you miss the feedback. And you know it from Enrica Richter, one theory about performing in theater or performance art or so on, is that is an art, a way of art that is depends on feedback Schleife, feedback loop, that you get in feedback. That's very important. And you said you missed it. You said something, or you've referred to a story from Boris that it's not important to have the feedback. What would you say about the importance of feedback in your way of acting?
It is a perception of situation and atmosphere. For example, when I make a workshop, and I say to the people, do really, you are in a movement, take the physics, what is going on, and the physics make with you what the physics want going on. But you have here the third eye. In the third eye, you take absolutely clear care as a Wahrnehmung,
Perception?
Perception, what is atmosphere? When this atmosphere you feel is right, you can feel it, no? Then you are in the right way. When you feel it's back, some things coming out from something else to put on the situation, and the situation is changed and you don't see it.
Okay.
This is what I really know. It's a knowledge about this eye is all times open, as a perception of situation and atmosphere and so on.
You would say the audience is not so important, the atmosphere is important.
Atmosphere
And the atmosphere is more than the audience, because Enrica Richter only wrote about the audience, I think, when I go back to it. And it's not important how's the room or how's the light or something like that, and it's important what the other people in the room do.
Yeah.
But you would say you have to be aware of more than only the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, so the audience is not the important thing in performance.
You can share with the audience, or you can share with your colleagues or your student, or it's not. I think it's very different to do only if you perform only by yourself in your studio, or if you do this encountering. No, there is much more. It's more meaningful for you to do it with other people, either if they are audience or colleague.
This sharing is for me. I make it in this image. Normal people in any kind of communication standing there.
Mm-hmm.
You have your audience and you have some artists.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the performers I see is the audience and then the artists and the doing and so. But it is the tools I use when I make performance is to bring the audience in a parallel situation to you.
To look in the same direction together.
To look together and say, not to you. Looking together, to be in this atmosphere, and that's I see, I feel.
Yeah.
That's, so in this moment, why I don't take the word sharing, but it is the situation. What I learned is a part of this. What I have to learn in the communication, to be together with other people. For example, there's a black market in Frankfurt. No? I got so wonderful letters how it was so good in Frankfurt. Here I saw shit things. And I know it. And why the people don't have it? So why is it like, oh, it was good? Or why is he lying? Yes, that's the problems. No?
Or maybe in their eyes there is this filter that they are these old, very good artists, so anything they do, they don't see because they see first the fame and they don't really look.
But this is also a discussion to be free of this. No? For
Free.
themselves, I'm also watching to other performers now. And all the time I said, how free, I hope that all times when I see performers to be free, to look and say, what's going on? And it's coming in and coming in and in. And then it touched me, or something is wrong, and then something is wrong coming, I see. But this is all a question about tools. How this atmospheric space have its own tools, and how I have to develop these tools to make possible to have it, to get it. So it means this third eye is one thing. When I found this, I got something. No? It's
I would add that I still try to have always respect for the receivers, that anybody can receive their own way. If they like it, and I didn't, I would never try to change their mind. Like no,
Yeah.
I think it was horrible. Sorry that you liked it. You know, like I wouldn't do that, because I think that, as I said yesterday, that there is no. This is utopic situation that everybody would receive
The same.
the same. It's just impossible because we are so different personalities.
Tarika. Tarika.
How can you make sure that you don't react but act?
yeah.
How can you make sure that you don't react?
I'm not free to say never I react. I'm not free to say I'm all times this. But I feel the difference. No? How my emotion don't overview me. This is mostly this question, emotion or some memory of something else have nothing to do with the situation. Then I put this memory and to put it on the. It's a daily life work.
Yes.
I said, yeah, it's a daily life work to take care. Acting, not reaction.
Especially if everything is constantly coming through you.
Yeah.
So you do feel everything, always.
Yeah.
And everything is also, and it wants a response. And you want to respond. But you don't want to react only.
Some wonderful tools is when some situation comes, can I speak tomorrow with you about this? Or can I give? I should be now the distance to come back near to. So these techniques or tools to be in acting. And I had for my wonderful situation a good table, then a window, and as I said, also a table. On the table was skull mask, looks like this. And I stand outside, this other side or inside, and put the water in the glass and back. Simple things. And then coming some people from others, and a young man. They saw the glass through the window. It's going through the window and so on. And I went inside, lay me down, and it was so a big shape of reaction.
And I think in Frankfurt, the black market were wonderful moments where you could where someone of the black market could react, but they didn't react. They made a new action.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could say a moment that you remember.
That's wonderful when this woman jumped on the piano and take a pose, ne? And start to put out your clothes.
A woman from the audience.
No, a guest.
Okay.
No, guest.
Okay.
Invited
Guest.
performer.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was a guest.
And in this moment, Helge took the axe, ne? Standing on want to
React.
But he shows he react, but he don't do it. Ne? But he understands the answer. Ne? And then Miriam, wonderful, took a white cloth, put us over this woman, and so in this moment she
And
was
the
away,
action goes
and
on.
we go to other things. So this is what I like on black market so much. We are in this way to be all times in a very human way of acting together. To be free of all this other reacting and so on. Ne? We had this 2 times in Frankfurt, ne? When
It was
Jürgen
not
put
easy.
his,
Yeah.
blue face. Yeah, but same time Elvira took the group, and so the last half hour was really funny.
It was really great to see it. She was walking around him with a bucket of water and
a lot of soap.
Yeah.
soap, and she was not. She took her time. She was walking around him, doing her things, and after 20 minutes,
Yeah.
she took her Tröte,
this
the horn.
this is the horn by Jürgen Fritz.
As she made this bucket with water, I thought about it, but it needed 20 minutes to do it. So she made her own action with the water bucket around him and circled around him, and then she did it.
Yeah, she transformed water to one bucket to
In another bucket.
for 20 minutes around, made a big circle.
And the
of
other,
buckets.
the others were taking the bubbles and made their own performance with it, and it was really good. Like a new action was the birth for more action and for a new black market situation, and it was really like this acting thing and not to react. And I think Helge stood there with the axe, and Elvira made no. She made something like that. So it was a known action and not a direct reaction to Helge. So there were a lot of moments I like very much about this action-reaction thing. Yes, and the reaction would stop everything.
Yeah.
So you could give more to the group if you act.
Yes, it's the reaction, if it's too strong, especially strong reactions, they can put all energy down of whole, if it's event or festival, you know, that kind of thing can kill everything good what has happened suddenly.
Well, you say it's a third eye, but it's really to be conscious about the whole space.
Yeah, with the whole things. Why I said this is an atmospheric space, but I don't like to separate anything. So objects is objects. So what's in the culture? Ne? Make painting is painting, sculpture is sculpture. But to be in the space and have all the things in his own movement, and you are part of this movement, it's more interesting. It's a separation that I am a painter, I am performance artist. To be free of this is doing the things, and we will see.
I just wrote a thesis where I compared this special state of consciousness you somehow described with the third eye and the consciousness of the space. I compared it to monks who practice their whole lives special kinds of meditations, or different kinds, movement or sitting meditations or breathing meditations, and they all somehow described similar things to certain performance artists, that they become really aware of everything in the room, or but they don't have the inner need to react to it. That means, as one monk described it, when he traveled first time to Europe, he walked through a shopping street and there were millions of faces. He was not used to it. But he described it, he could see every face, but he never had the need to turn around to look at one special or a bag, but he was really standing there, and his gaze and his mind was really conscious about the whole situation, but he never felt this need to react. So it's a very interesting that you say it's like really, because both is depending on a lifelong practice of this.
I think this self-consciousness, you can train it the more you do. It's like meditation, the more you do together, the more you are able to be conscious of more things at the same time, or more people around you, bigger space, but also you on the moment you can lose it and then catch it again, and you never learn like you can all like riding a bike. Once you know, you it's like a bike that can fail easily on the moment, I think.
Yeah.
We are like we want to be, that's it, this is over. Yeah, like we wouldn't continue, because it's each time you try again and try again. I think it's a constant failing and disappointment in a way. Or maybe it's like you are happy and then disappointment, but you still want to try again. That's what keeps us going.
And it's a state that feed you a lot, but also take your energy.
And yeah, I think that this experience that you say, like if you do a lot, you learn. I think you also you it's not only learning, but is also forgetting that unnecessary things that are so important in the beginning for you. Later you don't, you are free of those. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not so much. Yeah,
It is more than you know.
But I don't think that's, you know, that I think it would be sad that I would like only what I do, you know.
Or in this Zoom meeting, I think when we said about we miss the smelling, we miss be in touch with our eye contact or something like that. I think we miss a special atmosphere, or part of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Digital space in art, totally right, like we talked yesterday, it's missing. But if you imagine you're a computer gamer and everyone is in the digital space and you have this own, like you can create your own world, the others are also inside, I think that's a total different thing. There, the people have the atmosphere because sometimes they play 24 hours or 7 days a week just to be in this digital space.
It's long duration performance or
I wouldn't compare to performance, but I was thinking about it last night and said maybe it was too easy. We put it for our purpose of performance and art. I agree, digital space, you miss the atmosphere and everything, but for other projects like gaming or anything, it is a totally different world.
And I think you didn't understand me because I just said that yes, there is, but it was not this Zoom. I wouldn't call it that.
Yeah.
There is digital space like
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yes, I said yes, that maybe there is already seeing my kids. Yes, I see
virtual reality.
For me, sad. They are very happy there, but I think this is so much tool that there is not so much of your personality going there. It's like more, it's so much mechanical right now, and the digital space is kind of, they are just extension of it. Not that this extends them there, but more like the space is extended to them. I have this.
Yes, perhaps you could work with action-reaction. Perhaps there is only it is only possible to react.
Yeah, I think so.
So you can't set your own action because you think you act, because you click and you use the cursor or something like that, but you can't act in a way Boris told us about acting.
But maybe when you, like she said, interact with people in a game, or maybe when there's reaction that can be only in the digital world, then maybe it becomes a space. So
yeah, but I don't understand why you are so, because this is part of chasing this this modern technical news. So there is always coming like video, VHS. This is just tools. Digital space now. It always sounds so modern, so cool, so now. But in the end, it's going to be just another tool.
Also a tool for using it.
Yes, tool for using it. But I wouldn't, spend so much time speaking about that, because I think that what we are doing now, this is a great alternative to this digital thing. But we are here in person, and I think that this makes again so much sense to meet because of this social media, this digital space that that are starting to occupy so much of our time that I miss this.
I totally
going
feel
back
you,
to
I totally feel you.
I would stop thinking about this. I think it will come one way or another.
Well, maybe there are two different way of feel the atmosphere. Like for example, if you read a book, you're alone, and then it's like an egocentric way to create an atmosphere because you're alone, and so you can create the atmosphere. Like other people, yes, they listen to us via Zoom. They were creating a certain atmosphere around them, but without us in person. So it's like a kind of energy that came from you, and from the perception that you have of the other people in the other part of the screen. So I think that humans are not that limited to limit their power for a screen, so we can create a kind of atmosphere even if we are far. And of course it's completely different, and of course you're missing a lot of different energy because it's an atmosphere that you create in your mind and in your heart, so it's far, but still it's an atmosphere.
Yes.
But if you write a book, you write something that someone can read. Like if I take your image, I want to share my.
It's not a diary.
I want to share my art through writing. Then he can look in the same direction as me, reading it. He doesn't miss anything because it was meant to be read. If you do performance, performance it's about to be here now together and to feel the energy, the concentration, all those things that cannot be.
Catch.
Yeah, the screen cannot receive this. So this is that's why we miss big part of it through the screen. If your media is when I do a video performance, I know it's made to be seen on a screen. So then I don't put I walk in another way. And I'm not frustrated that they will only see it through a screen.
We thought about the way of digital acting when we thought about acting HANDELN. And I'm teaching and I'm working with students, and I think a lot of people in the Corona times they missed HANDELN acting because they're sitting in front of the screen and they were lost in the screen and they didn't know what their hands should do. You can only move the cursor, and it's not HANDELN. And I think to, like Vita Activa, that's even my reference, to be a handelndes human being, yes, if you are acting, if you are doing HANDELN, you become a human being. And if you sit in front of the screen, you miss this part of yourself or of a human being. You are no half.
I think that's a very personal opinion. I mean, I all agree with it because we all grew up like that. But if you ask, I know somebody he's only playing computer games, and he will say, no, I'm HANDELN. I have my community. I get receivement. So it's just, I think we all feel the same way. You have to feel the atmosphere, but I'm not sure. I don't think you can generalize this because there are also other points of view. I mean,
generalizing this or simplifying this just for the means of the discussion, I guess. Like the space itself. How can you actually separate space from the rest? Even in physics, it's space-time. It's, I would say, context. space is part of a context, it's wider context. That's because where the space is ending with the walls, and what if I open the window and jump out, the space is...
Let's come back to Handeln and to this archive. Can this archive handeln? And you live with the archive since 4 years?
Yes! Yes! Das Archiv, das Archive handelt.
Okay.
Es handelt in the, for example, when I think about the archive was 3 years old. It was very small. And people coming, looking, oh, going away. But now they have a presence of his own. And I am not so important. So some years I was not important. This was important. So this was a moment when it was before collection of information and objects by friends of the special community of artists. When it's changed to the archive, it's changed from something else to handling. That's for my, why I see it. But when you say how it's handled, it could be more but better handled, but it needs a more person to be open, to be complete open, and to change completely how the order
Structure?
Order.
that is how is ordered here. So Abibabo had said this wonderful sentence, the good neighborhood.
Good neighbor.
Yeah, it's a good neighbor. It needs complete change to be together with other elements to define atmospheric space by themselves. And then this wonderful image after the Second War, when a bomb from Germany fell in London of a library, and when it's broken or burned, people coming to go and start to read. So, yeah, this quality to invite by themselves, don't have it. Should be, but I don't find till now a person who said, okay, I'm a freak enough to want it, but it needs a freak. Not a person that give me money and then I say, and when somebody had so many people that done some things, and after that, better not.
And would you also say it's a tool?
Which one?
The archive is a tool?
Yes, it's absolutely a tool when you know how you use tools. That's the most problem of daily life. And you see people don't use really tools. But when I was working to repair cars or repair machines, I have to know this tool, construct another tool. In this moment I can make a physical phenomenon clear. So it's possible, but it's a question how to learn it. No? Many people come and say, out, no? Not too much. But to learn to really say, wait, what I have to find, what I have to take to find this and this and this, and then coming directly and say, okay.
What else?
Michel said too.
But I think to step into this archive, people have to adapt or to similar walk on your atmospherical path, I think. And this alone, I think, makes them handeln, because they have to look for a certain thing, and it's like a challenge as well to see an own structure in that sense.
I can describe it maybe, I have this tool. When I go in a shop for antiquariat to see old books.
Yeah.
Then I go in and I have to breathe 10 times to look there. Then I go to start there. And then I go through 30 minutes, 1 hour, and mostly I found some things, but I have to buy this, take it. It's, at this moment I'm open, the books have coming to me. This is with many objects anyway.
And also to be here, I think it really needs the factor of time. And you cannot be here. You can be, you know, we showed you a little bit around, but it's not about, yeah, okay, now you know here the artist or the network something, but really to open a box is a completely different Handlung than just looking and walking by the shelves, I think. And then at this moment, I think it's also the way of, and every time a box is opened, it changed.
And perhaps the last two question. Someone asked, I told someone about the archive, and he said to me, "Oh yes, it's Boris' archive." So, and I said, "No, it's not Boris' archive. He's a tool of the archive." Would you say it this way? Are you?
Yeah, it's good. Okay. So people have to think about it. Yeah, but it is very important to use language as a question. After this, what you say, people. Good.
So perhaps we will make a break.